Pledge
I pledge
allegiance.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Showing you and not us.
Yeah, remember that happened one other
Yeah, it
time?
happened over there too.
How did you fix that?
Yeah, it's only giving you the one camera option, it's not giving you the other. They're in the right spot.
Yeah, last time.
Yeah, it's not popping up.
And everybody's wondering what they're doing wrong. Let's hear it again.
Thank you. Just got a message.
Oh, oh, it just showed up now?
Yeah, that was at Wilderness, so that was all there was there. Plug in over there?
Try to hide selfie. Well, that gives you him. Now go up to the view on the top right-hand corner.
Can Attorney D'Onofrio hear the show?
I can hear you.
You're just having a little glitch here.
Oh, we can't talk bad about you, huh?
You can talk bad about me. I've heard worse.
Yeah, shouldn't the camera have a red light?
Yeah, it's not.
We can see you, but you can't see us.
Correct.
Yes.
So the camera that's seeing you is the one that's on the
Yeah, it's the one that's on the computer.
computer.
Yeah.
It did that one other time, where we were able to select that camera, but now that camera's not showing up.
Yeah, but I don't think it's on.
Has it got power going to it?
Can we put the laptop? You sure it's not a cord, you're not missing a cord over there? Like that you're not.
Wait, what's that cord right there?
It could be like a USB cord. Good. There you go.
There you go.
If it explodes, it's not my fault, for the record.
The button on
There
that
probably have a
gray,
power button.
on that gray box there. That it says recording.
Check the video thing again. There you go.
Yep,
There you go.
Now I can see you.
Perfect. Good job.
Okay, we're all going to one.
It's always the young guy.
Now you're gone. Hello? Okay, that's fine.
I want to share just a little bit more information regarding petitioning major arterial roads and minor arterial roads that were pertinent in Berlin. These are these orange lines. I show Orchard Road in yellow, the one in question. And then I just looked at, so there's definitely a path from Berlin Turnpike over, on arterial roads. That's probably the preferred way to go, but it's also, it's probably a little bit long if you're coming from the south. Another alternative that would be on collector roads. And I know we don't want to go by schools, but if you came down Meadow Lane and up Four Rod, which is all industrial right here, and came over to Norton Road, these roads are much, much better and much wider than Orchard Road are. And that's another alternative, because that's one of the things that the state will look at as to whether there's any alternative routes coming through. But there is a major arterial road going up through here. They can go down Berlin Turnpike, get on Christian Lane, come up Deming Road, get on Christian Lane, go over to the connector to the Chamberlain Highway and go that way. If they're coming southbound, there's ways to get over there by cutting through Meriden up to 691 and getting off on Chamberlain Highway and so forth. So there are major arterial roads that are alternatives to Orchard Road. So I'll leave that, Dave, for you or whatever. So with that, I guess, Dave, I sent you, or Commissioner Rogan, I sent you an email like 3 weeks ago. You didn't respond to it, but I would ask if you at some point can provide an update to me, because we promised the 100 people on the petition.
Yeah, well, Officer Govek's working on it, the chief, so
Yeah, well, I'd like to talk to him right now, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait. Monday, we had DOT and OSTA representative, right where Paul was. We were in this office talking about a bunch of issues with roads, and some of them have been in the works for a while. And Bo Bach was sitting with me, our traffic officer, who's our LTA representative. Yeah, and he's got the paperwork, and we were trying to file with the state. At that time, they weren't taking anything from us because they were trying to explain to us, there's a district person who we met, and then there's the guy from the OSTA who he's the head guy for the office. So the district guy was telling us about some of our road issues that we have to actually go to the district on. And then when there's all, you had to have certain benchmarks to go to the OSTA. So we took all that information that they gave us. We were in here for a couple hours while they explained to us their process. I can tell you, I'm not going to bullshit you. These guys are slow. It's the state. No offense. The DOT is, they're all, yeah, I know. They're really focused on the turnpike. So we were trying to hit on the turnpike side, saying, well, listen, this is part of the problem. This goes out to the turnpike, and you're talking about the turnpike. Why don't we just try and get the connection there? We're hoping that some of our plea will expedite a review. We need a review, but their review is not one person, it's a committee.
Okay.
So we got to try and get in front of this committee.
I know,
but we're on it.
I appreciate it. I know it's a high hill with the state to climb.
Yeah.
I just appreciate your.
And just to let you know, personally, I've been out on your road in the mornings and the evenings. I went out when the buses were supposed to come by because I sat out. I wanted to see where they're putting the fill in down there at the corner of Kensington Orchard. I sat there one morning. I have an unmarked car, sit all over the place, and I see the problems. It's not like we don't see the problems. So we're hoping that we can get some movement in a faster mode for you.
And the guy with the fill, it's annoying and all that, but this doesn't solve that.
No,
that's a whole different problem. But
when I was there, the trucks were coming from the turnpike to fill that side, not from the Chamberlain Highway side. But I know that I've seen trucks from the Chamberlain Highway side. They were coming from Southington, where they were dredging the pond or whatever it was they were doing last year. So.
Yeah. All right, we appreciate your help.
Okay.
Thank you.
And as we get more information, we'll reach out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
If we get a hearing, we'll let you know. There's a public session in the hearing.
Oh, there is? Okay.
That's what we were
Bring
told.
that dump truck picture tipped over.
So is it just maybe a good idea for us to back next month just to get another update since?
You could. I mean, you could, or I could always just let you know too.
Yeah.
You don't have to waste your night, but yeah.
I mean, we know Dave pretty well.
Sure, I mean,
Yeah.
no one does live on Orchard Road.
Trucks were coming on Southington Road,
In the summer, yeah,
yeah.
down Orchard, they were coming up Southington to the turnpike and making a right down Orchard
Why were they doing
to get to the Berlin Turnpike. Where were they going with the fill? I don't
No,
know.
they're dumping it, you know where the entrance to Timberland is? You know, the
The guy who's on the hill.
guy way up on the hill up there?
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
he owns from there all the way down.
Tony
to
McCarthy.
Southington. He's having all that fill dumped back there. If you look, it's huge, tremendous.
Yeah, but they were taking something from there and bringing it
Oh,
out to the
really?
turnpike.
Oh, jeez.
Because we had a couple stops on some of those trucks, and that's what they were telling our officers. The permit to haul the stuff.
stuff out of there?
He
Well,
had-
whatever they were doing with Southington, with the fill coming from some border,
Yeah.
where they're dredging, where the Boy Scout camp is or something, yeah. So,
Or slopers to the place. Not to take it
Yeah,
out
well,
of there.
yeah, but
Point of planning zone.
Yeah.
then, yeah, that's a P and Z issue, right? The ZEO issue?
Is it still going, is it still actively going?
No, I think it's all done. I thought that part's done because when I was out there 2 weeks ago, right after we had the last meeting, well, that was more than 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because we had a special meeting in between. Right after you were here, I went out there in the morning pretty regularly for a week, just wanted to see what's going on myself. And that's when I saw them bringing the fill to that, where they're filling in that property at the corner there on Kensington. But those trucks were coming from the east,
Yeah,
not
they're
from the
coming-
west.
They're coming from
Yeah.
Berlin. Like, I don't know where he's getting this fill from, but it's garbage.
It doesn't
It's
look
garbage, it's
Yeah.
garbage.
Looks like construction garbage.
Yeah, they're building 4 houses there.
Yeah.
They'll probably be like $800,000-900,000 houses.
Settling.
Well,
I wouldn't wanna dig a hole once they're all.
He's supposed to be mixing it all together. He is, I think he's just putting another layer. I don't think he's mixing it.
Yeah.
I have a question,
That's
maybe you
another
could
issue.
answer. Is there any set time before they can be really running their trucks for residential answer?
You know,
Cause he used to be like after 7, he's
But now
running
he's
at
before?
6:30 now.
well, you know, that would come under the general noise ordinance. Just call us. Yeah.
I know Pierre stayed within those limits when he ran Sunny Border. He never started more than that.
All right, we
Yeah.
can ask her. You guys can ask
Yeah.
her Thursday.
I think your time is-
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.
We just went on it.
Sorry.
So you're still going, just good to hear.
Yeah, here's the problem. My officer stops the truck and they say, yeah, they have a permit from dredging on the other town. What's the officer gonna do?
Well, no, it's not that. It's just I need to hear it, because I know what he's committed.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
he's
Well, I think
permitted to
that's all
haul.
done though, right? Isn't that done? That project was done in the fall, I thought.
It was supposed to be at least a whole year, but he doesn't have anything traveled beyond. That was,
Well,
that's the solution was to go from County A to County B. He doesn't have anything. Anyway.
No, that's the problem.
Okay, Attorney Donato, are you still with us?
The CD.
I'm here.
Okay, just checking.
I'm listening to the chief's riveting testimony.
Wasn't it wonderful?
Yes, I was on the edge of my seat.
Please.
Well, this is gonna be ongoing for quite a while, I would imagine, but at least you got your, some information as to what we're dealing with here with Orchard Road. We're gonna move on to the approval of the March 20th minutes, regular meeting minutes. Anybody have any issues with that? Any changes?
Yeah, there's a change that needs to be made. Under chief report, second sentence says we'll bring the total number of officers at 46. On that date, it was 43.
Anybody else have anything? Commissioners, you good?
Good.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes, please?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
We had a special meeting on April 9th. We're hiring 2 new officers. Do we have any issues with that?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes. Great,
Second. All in favor? Aye. Move on to the chief's monthly report, and I believe that puts the ball in your court, chief. You would like to make any? I found that the NTAC preventing mass attacks in our communities was very interesting.
Oh, yeah, Secret Service, we put on a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of, big event type training going on right now. I would suspect it probably has to do with, concerns about the election season.
You think?
Yeah,
And I see that you attended and delivered the graduation speech to Post-it at Municipal Peace Academy.
yep, that
How
was
did that
today.
go?
It was good. It was good. The Attorney General was supposed to go before me, but they screwed up the order and they told me at first. I knew he had to go someplace else, but so, it went well. And we had 2 graduate, so they start tomorrow. Nobody threw any fruit or anything at me, so I must have been all right with my speech. No, I guess so.
I noticed on the investigation division, we have an open spot for detective.
Yeah, we've had that for a while. We're sitting on until we get our numbers up.
Chief, are you part of the Mid-State Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm
Association or
actually the
North
chairman now.
Central as well?
No, not North Central.
Because I think New Britain belongs to North Central, and they meet in West Hartford, is that?
Oh, that's Capital Region Chief of
Capital
Police.
Region,
We're
right?
in that too.
You
Yeah.
are, okay.
Yeah, so we go to that meeting. We can get money from them, we partake in all that stuff. And then Mid-State is the smaller group.
Okay, and
Which
who's incorporated in that?
It's Berlin, Newington, Cromwell, Weathersfield. Raphael.
Yeah, okay, just curious.
I noticed that you ASSI Abloy.
So Bloy, yeah, we got a great partnership going with them right now.
Could you kind of give us a refresher as to exactly what's involved with that?
Well, they have a great training facility inside their corporate headquarters there, whatever they're building. I don't think it's headquarters, but they're a big building. And they offered us to be able to use it for training because, we don't have a specific place here. So we ran our first,
Where's the location of this facility?
right off of Episcopal, 255 or 225 Episcopal.
Episcopal, it's, you go down the Episcopal, you see all the solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
This is just on the other side of the.
You know where Sliders is? It's the big
Yeah.
building behind Sliders, the corporate part back there. Yeah, and so they were very accommodating, and we ran our first where we hosted a week-long training session, and we charged a little bit of money to offset the cost of coffee and stuff like that for the 1-week training program. It was a new facility for us, and they want us to come back, offered us to use that space whenever we want. And of course, nothing is ever done without quid pro quo, right? So we're going to conduct I'm doing the Homeland Security assessment for their facility, and now we got a partnership.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear. How close are we on the dispatcher position? It sounds like.
We have one that's going through a background right now.
So it's looking good.
Yeah, that's what I was told today. And she's already a dispatcher and a training officer for dispatchers, so the background, once she gets through the background, it's gonna be a short, quick training for us and we can fill that slot.
It's almost like a lateral kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did, in the final paragraph, unless anybody else has any questions, I noticed that we had an increased amount of motor vehicle violation stops by 76. That's great work. This is what we've been looking for quite a while. We'd like to see that continue in that direction. Any comments?
Well, that's on top of 300 more calls for service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Wow. Yeah, we need those bodies on the road. That's.
We're getting close.
Yeah, we are.
So if there's nothing else for the chief's monthly report, are we all good with that? Now we have the whole business where we're going to get an update, verbal update from Chief McNally on the TV renovation project update.
Okay, so, we're still trucking along on this renovation downstairs, which I'm sure the people upstairs are gonna appreciate because we're trying to get rid of the noise problem. But, we also made a work order change that saves money. So one of the things they were gonna put in, we went to a different shelving system, which was, to utilize this small space that we have for this evidence storage area. They were gonna use the same type of system that we have in our records division where you roll the shelves and all. That's a pretty expensive item, and after sitting down with Brian Humes and saying, listen, this is what our evidence is like here, and we don't need all this. So he's making the work change and it's saving a good chunk of money, kind of like value engineering. And they're happy, and that'll also help us move our program faster because getting shelving in versus getting in this system that rolls on the wheels and all was going to be a lot more work. So that was a good thing. They're just about ready to come through the walls. They've put walls up downstairs right below us. Concrete's all poured, the wiring's all in place. We're looking at how we're going to hook into our electronic system, which you're going to hear a little bit more about in a minute when we talk about the communication system update. But other than that, I think they're at the rate they're going, they're probably going to be done, knock on wood, by September. And originally they were hoping at the end of October, beginning of November, and it might even be sooner
That's amazing.
if the weather holds out. Once they get through the wall,
Yes, and everybody's got their security clearances.
Oh yeah, there's all badged and everybody's been checked.
Very good.
Mhm.
All right, well, that takes care of the renovation project update, communication system update. That would be Deputy Chief Drugale.
So there was kind of two parts to that. We have a very old camera system, kind of add a little bit to the renovation part. And then our camera system recently has been failing. The cameras literally were going in and out, which is very problematic when it comes to prisoners. And of course, the first night they failed, we had a prisoner and had to watch them 24/7 rather than the normal hourly checks we have to do. So our radio service company Norcom is going to be providing the base unit to support the camera system for the new portion of the police department. So what they did was they brought us in a temporary unit, hooked it up for free under the condition that we're going to be getting the permanent unit from them. But they put a temporary unit in and we were able to hook all our existing cameras up to that. And now we have a functioning camera system. So that's been helpful for them. So just a little bit of background on the radio system. So I myself have been here for 31 years. And prior to my getting here, we have always had dead spots in town, particularly in the South Kensington area. Some complete dead spots, some where you either couldn't transmit or receive. So these have gone on for many, many years. About 6 to 7 years ago, we did a radio upgrade project because we had to upgrade our portable radios anyway. So the portables were replaced and we upgraded to a digital system, which has worked well. And we also did renovations to our dispatch system, our dispatch center, replacing the consoles and doing some redecoration, pushing back a little bit, creating some more space in there. So that part of the project worked very well. The problem was it never addressed the problem of radio dead spots. So we've really been working on this problem for years. Since I started as a lieutenant and then the chief came, eventually I made deputy chief. We've been talking about this, working on it. And our old radio service company, I had them in several times. We talked about these dead spots and they really could offer no solutions other than they switched antennas on our cars from the salt shakers, this little stubby antenna, which did nothing to help us. So, and the biggest problem we're coming to now is we answer a lot more calls than we used to. So 30 years ago, maybe not so much. Now the radio infrastructure is even more critical than it's ever been before. And we just decided we can't tolerate these dead spots anymore. We had an officer roll up on an accident, Chamberlain Highway, Southington Road, very busy intersection, rolled up to a crash, needed services and stuff. and radioed in, heard nothing in response. So our biggest problem with our radio system is we transmit from one location, and that's right here on this tower.
Mhm.
We do have a couple other sites, but they are receive only. So sometimes what happens, like in this case, is the officer was transmitting, people could hear him, including dispatch, but he could not hear anybody else. He didn't know services were rolling, he's still trying to get help, so actually what he did was pick up the fire radio. Fire radio has simulcast sites all over the town instead of just one transmit site. And he was able to transmit on the fire radio and find out that they actually heard him, and the troops were on the way to give him some assistance, so. We have since switched to a new radio company on Norcom, which we found to be a lot more knowledgeable, professional. They came in and did analysis of our system, and we were left with a couple choices. We could build a bunch of infrastructure in town, which is build more towers and have more send and receive simulcast sites. Or the other option was we could jump onto the state's radio system, which frankly, a lot of departments in Connecticut are doing, and a lot of departments in this area are doing.
That's what I was gonna ask you. You get
A lot of
really good
departments-
services with that.
And the other nice benefit to that was we would be able to program all those other interagency channels into our radio frequency that we cannot now. The only one we can talk to directly on our radios is Cromwell. No one else. So we did an analysis of that, and where we are right now is Norcom has done the analysis, they've come up with a dollar figure, they've come up with a detailed list of everything they need to do to accomplish that. That list has been sent to the state, it goes to them first, they review the proposal. We have a really good relationship with the folks that run that program. And we are gonna do a call with them after they look the whole thing over, and they're gonna kind of give us the real deal, like, you need this, you don't need that, you need this, so. Once we get that analysis, then Norcom officially presents the plan to us, and then we're gonna move forward. This is something that we brought up to the town council in the past, they're aware of that. The initial number, just a ballpark number, that Norcom originally gave us, which really included infrastructure, was somewhere in the area of 1.5. And switching to the state system is not gonna be cheap, but we're hoping to bring it in quite a bit less than that.
I was under the impression the state doesn't charge. to
The
drill
state
it,
does not charge,
But you
but
need the infrastructure to support.
we need some infrastructure and the reprogramming of everything. The reprogramming of portable and car radios alone is a few $100,000.
But we don't have to buy new radios, that's
It
the
could be a
difference.
one and done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we need some infrastructure and dispatch to be able to handle that, and we were going to also get a small number of tri-band radios for the command staff so that we could then communicate with every police department on those radios to kind of increase our communication. So we're towards the end now. We should be getting an analysis from the state very soon, and once they get back to us, we'll look at those numbers, and then we'll be able to present that to the police commission, and then we would bring that proposal forward and look for funding from the
The town council's already aware of it and they've agreed to pay this, as I recall.
That's correct. Yeah, so, but we're looking at those numbers very closely because we want to make sure that we trim it down as much as we can as far as not spending more money than we really need to.
And I don't anticipate a problem at all with the state because, as it happens to be that I'm not the police chief representative on the E911 commission, and all the players that we're talking to, we're all the people that are on that commission too. So, and one of the things we had to do is like talk to Middletown about jumping on their tower. So the state said, you know, make an arrangement with Middletown, we have a relationship
We have
with
an
Chief
MOU.
Costa already, you get the MOU and, you know,
They
so.
gave us, the state gave us portable radios. We went all around town, did a lot of testing, and believe it or not, we thought the New Britain tower at the hospital was gonna cover the south end, and actually it was the Middletown tower.
Yeah.
That covered all our dead spots, and that's from
So you
sitting in the
have better
car.
coverage.
Oh,
Better-
it'll be
Much better
much
coverage.
better.
And that's, the testing was done sitting in a car with the portable on the belt, using a collar mount.
Lieutenant Rob Martin was involved in that too.
Rob did the
Yeah,
testing
Tom
with
Farr
our-
was involved, there's a couple of people, and the state, you know, they're saying, well, it's 97% coverage. Okay, That's far better than what we have right now.
Yeah.
So 97% is really good, and that's the state standard.
South end of
The
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 south end
benefits of
road.
it are you get very high class service and you don't pay for it.
Right.
You get interoperability, which is amazing for active shooter. And the reason I know as much is because Clayton Northgraves is in charge of
Yep.
that
Right.
group. They have a team of
We've been
12,
talking to him quite a bit.
24/7 on call.
Yeah.
He's very eager, excited, and willing to get local partners on that
Mhm.
because, you know, when you mesh everyone in the
Right.
instance of an emergency, it's always beneficial,
Yeah.
you know?
The nice thing also is that Norcom is the state's radio service provider.
Yeah,
And they basically told us.
it's a no-brainer, even if it costs you a
Yeah.
little bit more money,
It
you
took
get
them
the
a
support
while.
service.
Yeah. It
that
took
they
them a while to get
offer.
the numbers because they basically told us, you're not the only one looking to jump on the state system. We got 3 other
Everybody
departments right now that are.
And before we started looking that route, they were talking about building 2 towers, which is gonna be well over 1.5 million.
It would have been way over
And then
that.
you have to maintain it and
Yeah.
all, I mean, the
Right.
state has their team of people, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
It's a no.
And they've done some big favors for us recently too, on both Norcom and the state side, so,
Mhm.
I mean, I think it's a win-win for us.
So
We are the center of the state, the
Question.
exact center of the state.
Geographic.
how much longer will it take before we close this deal? Do you think? This year?
We should hear
Right,
we should hear from
hopefully
the state by next week.
Yeah, we're
early
hoping
Next
to
week.
start doing stuff.
Renovations and radio system. in the
Well,
We haven't,
Well, why not? Because we gotta do all kinds of wiring and everything. We're already planning that.
Yeah.
One way or another with the renovation. So we've sat down already with the architect and the Millennium Builders and all and said, hey, wait, on this point here where you're gonna tie in, you might not be tying into what's not working anymore. You're gonna be tying into new stuff. So one way or another, it's gotta get done.
It's still gonna take a while.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while to get the approvals, go to the town council, and then we might not be number one on their Norcom list here to actually start doing the work, so. But we want to get on that list as quickly as we can. The nice thing about the town of Berlin is the town council has said, this is a priority for us. We will find the funding, so we're not looking to bond for that. And that puts you lower on the list as far as Norcom is concerned, because basically we would be essentially paying cash, if you will,
Mhm.
to do the project.
Mhm.
And that bumps us up on their priority list. Can't talk.
I mean, the benefit is say you have a presidential visit, for example, and you need, you know, partners from multiple departments and state police and whoever, federal agencies. You could just, the click of 2 buttons, all be on the same radio station.
Yeah.
And the central mobile command, with all the command staff centrally located, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
You know.
we're overdue for this type of.
And we're doing a lot with other agencies, a lot more. With jumping, helping each other. Our mid-state is the Accident Reconstruction Team. They're looking to bring it back some other components they used to have. So, and Middletown wants to start like another mid-state, but that has East Hampton, Cromwell, Middletown, Meriden, and Portland as another group, and we would be in on that group too. So
More resources.
it is, that's what it is. We're talking about sharing resources and trying to reduce costs. So,
It's all good. Are we all set on the communication system update? We're good. Okay, moving on. We have new business, and we're going to have the attorney D'Onofrio is going to speak to us in executive session as to what we can expect with issues with what the commission is expected to do as per our charter. And he's going to review a little bit of what's going on with the relationship with Madabassett, the town-owned property that it's on, and the use with police departments. And then we'll take our vote for our chair and our vice chair after that. But in the new commission, new business, would like to ask about CGIS training. Are we all up to speed on that at this particular point?
Ryan, did you do CJIS training yet? This is an online thing. You're a young guy. You should have got it done
I
already.
got the 2-month-old baby.
You can run it in the background, they're gonna work.
And
I'm assuming Melissa and Alex are all set.
there he said, she said,
Call me,
Back
I'll
in
help you-
November.
I'll help you with the answer.
yeah.
And then Paul, you have to do it,
I'll
yes.
do it.
I would say,
Yeah, so you and Ryan have to do it, yes. So, and then you'll set.
So I'm gonna-
If you can get time, you come down and have Tom Parr do it with you. You'll get right through it too.
I mean, I'll do it.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah,
Tommy, come over here.
It's not- it's just sitting there looking at all this information. At the end, it's not that hard.
So I'm gonna make a motion to move executive session up to now and then.
If you'd like to, because I'll tell you what, there's nobody else, there's no public on the Zoom meeting right now, so we can just do it right from Zoom. We don't have to go to the phone like we
Right.
might
I
have.
think the best way to accomplish that is to stop recording.
Yeah, stop recording.
If no one else is on, so we can just leave the microphone on.
Yep.
And it can be considered.
Okay, and then these, I mean,
So I'll make a motion to adjust the agenda to go into, to move executive session up,
I'll second.
and I'll make the motion to go in executive session.
I'll second.
I'm gonna invite the chief and the deputy chief to stay on the commissioner.
But we didn't vote, we gotta pass first, the two motions on the floor.
gotta vote on it.
Everybody say nay.
Speak now.
We had a motion to vote, So we had the motion in second, but did you vote?
We'll have to take a vote, and all in favor?
Aye.
Right, at 7:14.
Um, Lights are off there.
I'm gonna check my dog.
She out there?
Maybe she wants to switch balls, so we it just blaze through.
She's out riding her bike in front of the.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, you know what?
It's the fourth. so-
Yeah, no, it's just-
Like,
if
I'm
you're
not
really-
recommending
I had to come to parts of the brains. I saw eight kids riding
You know, my
together.
my
They were
kids are
younger.
like, you give them a
Wearing
phone, and
helmets.
it's like,
They came to the
sometimes I forget to
intersection,
breathe.
stopped at the red light. He went to look, he was in that car. And if I had those tickets, I would come over and grab them.
You was on a bike last night. I drove by. He stopped the group. 3 had helmets, he gave all 3.
Well, they're posting all of
That's
the
why I
Berlin
came-
buzz
I came
about
back
what a
with
great
the
thing she got
kids'
called
soccer.
from
Yeah.
Musanti,
Willards, I
and
had to,
saying
like,
she
rush
stopped
here,
her
and that's
kid,
why I
but
was-
she read this really thing, it's on that Berlin buzz, I saw right before I came up here.
Yeah.
I saw that.
One of the soccer
Out there, and that's a great way
I
of
was saying
saying,
that
hey,
she has
that's
local
what it
partner.
is.
It's, I'm hoping it works, yeah.
So much.
And my husband works second shift, so, yeah.
Sorry, John.
It's his birthday tonight, right?
It's.
Wish him a happy birthday when you get, see him if he's not asleep. He'll be asleep.
Who made the motion, first and second? for-
I did.
I would second.
Alex.
Where's he working? Is he still in,
He's at his pastor.
Elwick?
Yes, you have
Did
to.
you say anything, or was that-
No, we haven't, it was just
Okay,
policy.
all right, discussion.
Okay, so we're on the investigation division, Lieutenant Stolik, no hiring report. Anybody have any questions on that? This is the third page, it says we're gonna have some, completions right here very shortly. So August, and got right through,
Almeida and Johnson were today.
I was gonna say, are these the new guys that we
Yeah.
hired? This doesn't include those two.
No, Almeida and Johnson graduated the academy today,
Oh.
so they'll be all FTO, if all goes well.
Yeah, no, the new ones, yeah, from last week aren't on
Yeah,
Okay.
no, they're not on there,
So-
because that's written before that.
here.
Brandon Scott.
The ones.
It's one of the 3.
If they're really good, we cut it a little bit shorter.
A week and a half.
We just did it for 2 people and we cut them like 2 weeks early. So we can get them on the road.
Okay, so we're all set with that
Mhm.
report. All right, next report would be number 8, youth officer report. Anybody have any questions here? Or just the one I gotta ask, you notice the child was left by the school bus and all other officers on the team. We got home, it was a half day at school. That's a big deal. It's at the very bottom of.
Yeah, I see that.
4605.
I don't know how we got that. This actually happens a lot more than you would know.
In fairness, we
Yeah.
have to speak up sometimes.
Yeah,
We've got 2 working parents.
yeah, somebody didn't
Not
know.
They
completely
didn't, well,
impossible.
look at it, it's handled pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, so for that
I
one.
got those scared.
Yeah,
We'll
Okay,
get out of the-
on to 9, Lieutenant Jobs's report here. For the Sports services for the monthly report, no questions? The 5-3 schedule, how's that going? How's that?
It just started April 1st.
So
Seems to be going all right, you know.
everybody just jumped, I mean, it worked out. The switch just happened overnight.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
good.
A lot of planning, but.
Yeah, just get, you know, trying to get everybody on the same thing. It hasn't, there's been no grumblings,
We're good.
so, yeah.
And then just, I'll make it quick, the comprehensive DUI enforcement program, high visibility program, and then the seatbelt one, that's a tough one, but the two, those two first ones are more important. Once we get the full staffing, will we be able to just finally be able to take advantage of those?
Are you talking about the grants?
Big grant programs, once we get.
Yeah, yeah, there's no sense in us, participating in a grant if we can't staff it.
Right, so
And we
maybe,
just have to give them back the money, so. Yeah, we will, the distracted driving, yes, yes to both of those, yeah,
maybe by the end of the year, we'll be able to.
yeah.
Is there any other questions? Because you do have, you have the SRO, Mark Pinto. Any questions for him? Yeah,
The pistol permit seemed down. Is that because we're pushing them through quicker, or is this just less applications?
Probably a little of both. You know, when I got here, there was a huge pile.
Yeah, it's both.
And we do them almost once a month. I get a stack, and then I would say also there's probably a little bit of a lull. What we're seeing is a lot of couples. When I'm reviewing all the pistol permits, you see married couples. A lot of them
My
get
wife,
permits
my
together.
wife made me do that. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right. Yeah, well, she wanted, she had it too. Why not, right?
So, but we're not like. I can't say that's any more, any less. I just know the stack is smaller,
Yeah,
but it's
she-
probably
a
coming
lot
more.
smaller.
Yeah, yeah,
They're better maintained.
yeah.
and then we have Sergeant Emery Haas's report, you know, for the March Support Services report. Any questions there?
You know, if new cars were included, because I'm looking at some of these cars, mileage.
That's the capital budget, and we have a couple that are being outfitted now. And then it's gonna be like, normally they say around October, but we're not in line for any new cars next year. Unless, it depends what happens, it depends what happens with the budget passing on the referendum. And from what I've been told, the money, what money's left, because they zeroed out the capital budget. And that's where your cars are. You know, our cars become everybody else's cars.
Yeah.
So if we don't get them, then they're not getting them either. So Jim Stuyvesant's hands, it's that whole thing.
Two over 100,000, one's pretty close to 100,000.
We have a couple of remotes to replace, they're
Yeah.
just not on the list yet, because we haven't gotten fully outfitted
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
We're in the process.
Are we all set with that? We got the training officer, Brandon Magoo. And he apparently, I'd say, I noticed that, recruitment, there's, two intern schedule, kind of work will they be, what will they do, speak?
They'll go to every division of the department, so we're also gonna look for a project for each intern to complete while they're here, so we'll assign them a project. Work in concert with their individual schools. The internship program, I used to run it where I came from too, so I like to have this, and because I'm in the college, I see the other end of it. They're gonna have some kind of projects that they're gonna have to do. But, and you know what we do, we'll give them some light duties, whatever, something that we'd say, hey, if we had somebody injured, we'd have them do this, but we don't, so we'll have one of these kids do it. And you know, it also depends on who the intern is, how they're gonna act. Are they mature enough? You gotta, it's.
They're college.
They're college interns, yes.
When they could possibly become police officers in the future. if they-
Yeah, one of our interns from last year applied for us and was in the process, and
Got close.
he got real close, yeah.
Real quick point of something that I read, I thought was really interesting. I don't know that it would work. But IACP had the monthly letter that came out, and there was a PD that is encouraging recruitment for 18-year-olds to be dispatchers with the proposition that they would automatically be enrolled in the class for officers when they turn 21. So I thought it was pretty
It's
interesting.
nice if y'all take a look at it.
Yeah, like, so, you want to be a cop when you're 18, okay, why don't you come get your feet wet, be a dispatcher, as soon as you hit 21, you're automatically enrolled in the class at post. I'd imagine there might have to be a polygraph in the background,
Mhm.
but that
I
aside.
know that they,
It's almost like a conditional offer. you know?
in the legislature, that recruitment and retention bill that's in there about, trying how to recruit and how to retain. In fact, today when we were doing the graduation, we are talking to Attorney General Tom, and he was asking about recruitment, wanted to know if that's gonna go through or not. And one of the big discussions was they looked at Hartford, because Hartford has police explorers, police cadets, and then police officers. The police explorers are 14 to 18, the police cadets 18 to 21, and they get jobs like at the front window, being a house mouse in their records, or doing non-field type work, but they're getting paid. I don't know how much, but it's not, it's a minimum wage
Yeah,
type thing.
I mean.
But
with
what they do
recruitment,
get is they
it's
get
crazy,
credit towards the pension. So if you do 18 to 21, they've already got you for the Hartford Police Academy, because you already got 3 years until a pension.
Right.
So they looked at that, and I think they want to try and model that for a state program, is what I heard.
Some creative thing to think about.
Yeah,
We should put dispatch on the agenda for. Talk about staff.
oh, yeah,
You wanna do that?
yeah,
Do that next month.
yeah, we'll put it on next month.
Some, I mean, not that busy.
Then we'll have,
Discussion about that.
we'll have the
Be good to talk about the future.
Tom Farr come to the meeting.
Then we just have the officers post certification, a lot of expirations in June 24th, so on the top of all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah. We don't mess around with that.
Get to Lieutenant Rob Martin. His operation division report. Any questions there? We're gonna do recognition to the town facilities employee and former Berlin Police Department officer, Henry Wright, for their assistance in helping Officer Kennedy.
We're setting up for our award service, and that's in the folder that Sergeant Schreiner has.
Okay, when's our award service?
It looks like it's gonna be, May 30th, I think it was. We're looking at May 30th. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it's a Thursday.
Was that the same month that we go for the 30th?
Yeah.
For the Kazner Memorial,
Kazner Memorial is probably gonna be on the morning of the 15th.
just in case anybody wants to attend, it's in May 15th, you just go to the cemetery. Or it's May.
I'll send it out to all of you. Yeah.
Yeah, I did make it, I noticed that on the Viking report, I thought it was a good idea. It says officer was new officers, Skinner and officer, Sandy, deployed the party on bikes to fight the avenue area. Help the third groups of juveniles that have been, reported reckless riding bikes in traffic. They also did name the community contacts within the schools in the area. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and we're identifying the kids too. So, 'cause
All right.
there's young kids and older kids. The older ones are giving you the problem.
Yeah. But they still have to wear a helmet up to what, 16 or
16. Yeah.
And we're moving on to the deputy chief, Jude Gallup's report. We'd like to mention on the report. It's
Training stuff, we're keeping up on all our training.
Yeah.
You'll see left stuff on my report, because Officer Wood is handling a lot of that for the training.
and it's your overtime budget, minus 11%.
Yeah, they've already transferred money over. And I believe overtime, but they transferred money in two of our other accounts, because we were deficient in uniforms and professional development with all the hiring. We just transferred money over to bring them all to positive. So we're looking at.
Freedom of information, right? Any questions there? No.
The FOI hearing that Onfrey was talking about, this guy's been in prison for a while. It's been going on since the summer of last summer. And every couple of weeks, we get another hearing date, and he's never out, he's always in jail. I don't know why FY just doesn't say, okay, that,
Handwritten FOI request.
oh yeah, it's horrible.
That's
He
all.
types them out, nice and long.
He's got a lot of time in prison now, and I don't think he's getting out anytime soon. He's involved in child sexual, assault stuff with his kids. So,
So the last thing we have to do is take a vote for chair and vice chair. Do I hear nominations? Yeah,
Are we starting with chair?
we'll start with the chair.
I'm nominating for chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, nominations for vice chair.
Man, that's.
Melissa,
I was gonna nominate Ryan.
I think we're gonna, okay, so. What do we have here? We have to take a vote. All in favor of Alex?
Can I vote in my own?
yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be for vice chair?
Yeah, but sorry. Did you guys hold the vote?
No, we haven't had the vote.
Okay.
We're doing that now. So can I share thoughts with everybody here? Before the vote. My thought was that because Alex is new to the commission, as he's getting up to speed, that Ryan Zellick is a historian as far as minutes and information. And if Joan is not available to do the recording secretary, Ryan has said that he would do it, he would write the minutes and he would submit them to Kate Wall. It's a really big deal because there have been problems in the past. Joan's been awesome. But before that, we've had problems with the other recording secretaries not being available. And those duties do fall onto the vice chair's position. So I was kind of thinking that Ryan Zellick in the past, it has been that we've had chairs where it could be a Republican chair and a Democrat chair. I kind of would like to revisit that if it's okay to everybody here. Only until January or February when we vote again. Things may change, and that would be my suggestion. So let's take a vote. I would vote for Ryan at the moment. And because of my reasons for doing that.
So all in favor of Ryan?
All in favor, Ryan?
Aye.
Hi. Hey, how are you voting?
So we have to finish the vote though.
Okay, so all in favor? Aye.
Aye, well, because we have a motion for Alex on the floor
Okay, we
too,
have a motion for Alex.
unless you recant or withdraw your, or decline your nomination, I apologize.
I'll decline.
Okay. so-
Congratulations, Chair and Vice Chair.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It took me 13 years.
And,
Nice job. I'm not.
well, you do come with, you do have a lot of qualifications. You have a lot.
I appreciate it.
And if there's any questions, I assure you, we'll all reach out. And you have a phenomenal ability to find old information very quickly. So sure.
He can make up his stuff quick.
No, thank you.
And,
I moved to adjourn the meeting. Is that is all?
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nothing personal, Mr. Chairman?